What's up, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dan with my co-host Pagan, and this is the Replayer Podcast.
What's up? You're bringing
What's
the vibe. What's
well, I'm
up,
excited.
everybody?
I'm excited.
I know. I see that.
Because I am excited that we have some awesome Replayer guests with us this week. We have Andrew and Donna. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yay!
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Hey.
I like it.
I think we're bringing some sort of like jock vibe.
Got that Jerry Springer vibe again.
Go team! Like
Go.
I don't know.
You know,
Go
I
ninja,
try.
Go ninja,
I
go,
try.
go ninja.
We enjoy that you tried. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you for trying. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. This is the Replayer Podcast. We like to get to know replayers. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. You guys are replayers for one reason or another, and we're going to ask you questions, and you need to answer them.
Bum, bum, bum. There is a quiz, and yes, you will be tested. You will be rated on a score sheet.
Oh,
You'll be kicked from the Zoom if you answer them wrong.
Well,
What
last
is
time I
your
tested-
favorite color?
In the light of Monty Python, where are you
Oh,
from?
If you talk about swallows, I'm going to fail it.
No, all good.
All right, so we are starting it off with where are you from? And just pretty basic general question, get as simple or complex as you like. I'm going to kick it off with Donna.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi.
I'm from the northeast of England, so
If nobody could tell by your accent.
yeah, the accent is really obvious.
Maybe not to me and Andrew's ears. I don't know.
No, that's okay.
I got it. Zing.
Yeah.
One for Pagan. All right, I'm writing it down. No, just kidding. Sorry. Go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I'm from the northeast of England, so I don't know how many of the replayers are from around like England or the United
Probably
Kingdom.
more than you know.
You'd actually be really surprised. We've had quite a few on from Manchester, and someone I think from Norfolk. Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, that's cool.
I never took a count or a tally, but I feel like there's quite a few.
Yeah, there's quite a few UK-based replayers. You'd be very surprised.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Andrew?
I'm from near like Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So
Pretty close to that. Alrighty.
yeah, we're in the Metro Detroit.
Did you grow up there?
Googling.
I grew up in Metro Detroit. I didn't grow up in Detroit, but it's like it's a good 45-minute drive to get there. But it's fun. It's a fun city to go to.
Wow, that's on the.
I've been
border
through
of
Detroit, but never in
Canada.
Detroit. Oh yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, we go south to go to Canada. If you're
you
in
go
Michigan,
south. Oh, okay. So you're.
so
you're
we have
up?
to go
Oh.
downwards to go upwards to Canada because that's where
Cool.
the bridge is.
Nice.
That is cool. I like that.
All right, so moving right along, how did you find Retro Replay the channel, and do you remember when you started watching it, like approximate date wise? And we'll kick it back to Andrew this time.
I think I caught on to Retro Replay was when Troy and Nolan, I think they were on Rooster Teeth, and they were doing like a battle of like voice acting or voiceover. It was some sort of little game that they were doing, but then they talked about, oh hey, you can find us at Retro Replays. So they were promoting the channel.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, yeah.
I think they did a whole thing like that where they kept popping into different Rooster Teeth things after Rooster Teeth kind of took them in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check them out, see what I kind of was blown away by that because I'm like, wait, they have a channel?
Oh.
these two hooligans have one. So I checked them out and I was like, all right. I think that was around like the end of season 1, like near the end of season 1.
I think it was between season 1, season 2 when Rooster Teeth picked them up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was before Rooster Teeth picked them up. It was way before that, but it was just like, kind of on the, maybe like mid to end.
I got you.
Essentially.
All right, so it was around there. So how about you, Donna?
Cool.
I've been following Troy and Nolan since I think it was 2017. So I tend to follow a lot of the gaming channels and everything. And I think it was like on my recommended on YouTube, it was the trailer for season 1. Cool. So I've pretty much followed Retro Replay since the very start.
Oh yeah, nice.
Nice.
Do you remember what your first episode that you saw was?
Mine was Spider-Man Atari.
Oh, of course. Okay. Good.
Great episode. I've just rewatched that actually. It's such
It
a
holds
good
up.
episode.
Is that the one?
They also hold up. I'm not gonna lie. Like they're so funny. And you know what's interesting is they're so short. The
Mm.
first couple of episodes
Yeah,
are like
they are.
15, 17, 20 minutes. And you're like, wow, like it's such short content. But yeah, it's really cool.
I still love level 1 episodes, like, and because they're so short, they're really easy to
For sure,
binge.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
you
really
can
easy to
you can
binge.
happily sit and watch them,
yeah.
Yep.
you know, throughout
And-
the whole way through.
There's something about those too that they're easier to just kind of like put on in the background and listen to.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes them good podcast episodes for the Retro Replay podcast.
I was gonna say, do
Yeah.
you listen to the podcast then when you're listening to it back?
I
I
did.
think- Yeah, because I think we had discussed this when they had started the Retro Rewind podcast.
Yeah.
It's so easy to listen to once you've seen the episode. If you've never seen the episode, it's a bit like, what are they talking about? Because they'll talk about stuff that's happening in the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's really great with listening to it back now and binging those rewind podcasts because you still remember what they're playing and what they're looking at and stuff. So it's really cool.
When I
Hmm.
first saw that, when they did the retro rewind, I felt like, okay, that must be an inside joke, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
Ah.
I imagine like too if
first.
you're like working
Yeah.
your way backwards too and you're like listening
Yeah.
to newer episodes before
Yeah.
the joke was established and you're like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
this has got to be an inside joke and I don't
Like,
know what it is
Wait
yet.
a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Do either of you have a favorite thing about Retro Replay that you could say like, oh, this is like the one thing I really enjoy about this show?
Yeah. Why do you watch Retro Replay?
That's
Go
a good
ahead,
way to
Donna.
put it too.
For me, it's the banter between the hosts. I love the
Okay.
banter.
Hmm.
It's
Good banter.
banter.
The
Banter.
banter. Yeah, that's what we say here too. We like the banter. Or good crack.
Yeah.
How
basically.
do you like the dynamic now that it's changed since Troy left the show?
I'll be honest, like I kind of fell off a little bit, but I've been
Okay,
playing
no,
catch-
That's
It's fine.
understandable.
I've been playing catch up and I've actually quite enjoyed it because the episodes are a lot longer now. And
Mhm.
I've enjoyed a lot of the ones that Nolan does with Cooper.
Okay, good. Father knows best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a good mechanic, like the good dynamic that the two of them
Yeah.
have. So, and a lot of people
Yeah.
have said that it's kind of getting similar to when Troy was on there because they're starting to get a good chemistry going between the two of them. So it's
Yeah, I think it's like we said before. He's opening up a little bit more. Cooper's opening up, and there's a lot more references thrown out and cutaways and stuff. So it's not that it was like bad and getting better, or it's just
no.
more like it feels more comfortable to watch
Yeah.
now as Cooper's
Yeah,
getting more into it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
for sure. Whose catchphrase was that?
that's
Hmm.
yours.
For sure.
That's yours. Mine was
100%.
100%. And to be fair, I can't
Be
stop.
fair.
Like-
I can't not say that.
I can't not say 100%.
Don't not use double negative.
Why do you watch the show, Andrew?
Oh yeah, Andrew.
What was your
Sorry,
favorite?
you do that too, Pig.
I do that too. And
I've
he
had to be like,
corrected me
whoa,
last
hold
week.
up.
Whoa, hold up. We're getting too involved. Sorry, Andrew. What's your favorite thing about Retro Replay, or why do you watch the show?
What was English? I think my favorite
Respect.
bit was when what was the voices that they would do? There's just the random voices Nolan and Troy would do.
Oh,
With
sure.
Saul and
Yeah, like Sal and Vinny.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like my favorite thing. That and walk-in, like random like walk-in impressions.
yeah.
Watch out for walking.
Yeah, watch out for walk-in. It was just
Yeah, that goes back to like the level 1 stuff again too, and they just
Yeah.
they go on these crazy random like character
it's
voices.
the tangents. It's the
Yeah.
tangents.
Yeah.
I love them. You know, it's like, all right, I can get into this.
Do you specifically then like voice over related tangents, like when they do a character like
Yeah.
Frank and Edith, or when they do the hillbillies with the
Yes.
the
Oh,
Frank
Oh,
yeah,
Hillbillies.
absolutely. It's
Kind of love
crazy.
that kind of comedy.
Yeah, because it's crazy because it's crazy how they can go from like normal, I'm talking into just like that, and they're like the different character. I'm like, just happened.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
and I'm
was just
sure
fun to watch.
For a lot of
Yeah.
replayers in the beginning, that was like one of the key mechanics of like the way that Nolan and Troy could just bounce off each other. Like if one of them
Yeah.
started doing a character, the other one just went with it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
I think
That's how
fair.
they-
Yeah.
Most of those famous skits that we know started that way.
Yeah. From Silent Night and Happiness as well. Like when they went
Yeah.
back and reanimated them.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I think it was just the lightheartedness that they kept, you know,
Mhm.
with that was. It was just like you could always like de-stress and just like watch retro replay. It was just
I
like,
agree with
all
that,
right,
Andrew. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about like where things
Sure.
start to get a little heavy on the show, and it's like those are the parts where I'm like, like
yeah.
Skip. Like, next episode.
Let's go a couple of minutes here. Skip that.
But yeah, so then I'll pose you the same question then. Like, how do you find that dynamic now that it has changed? So that like now a lot of it is Nolan and Sully, or Nolan and Richard, or Nolan and Cooper.
I think it's pretty
obviously
good.
different.
It's different, but in all honesty, different's fine. You know, it's
okay.
It's okay. It's like it's kind of nice to see that kind of like that dynamic where that you got you're playing Lego Star Wars with your dad, and then you're having those like conversations and having fun. I think them capturing that moment of just like enjoy the little things, and having fun. I think that's what it's really all about, and I think they capture that pretty good.
Nice.
I've said something similar too with The Father Knows Best, that it's like the show does a good job of capturing that moment or element of playing a co-op game with a family member or even a friend that you might play those kind of games with, and you get that little bit of like the shoulder bump in like while you're playing. Well, that's cool. I was gonna say I have a note on The Father Knows Best that captures that dynamic. I was gonna save it for later, but since it applies to the situation, there was a moment in this week's Father Knows Best where Nolan was trying to jump to get the coins, and Cooper was saying, "No, don't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it." And then Nolan says, "Screw it, I'm going." And he jumps, and Cooper's like, "No, wait." And Nolan makes it, and he goes, "Oh." And they actually like zoom in on Cooper's face of him going like, "Oh." And like that's like the best moment right there to me. Like that kind of like sums up a lot of what that show is.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's the little surprises that it just caught him off guard. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What just happened?
Great. So is there a question that you may have for Retro Replay, cast or crew, or otherwise? And if you could ask Retro Replay a question, what would it be?
It's a good question to ask me. This is going to be the
think
part
about
where
it for a minute.
let's all think about it and then we'll edit it.
Likewise, so like if you don't have something right now and you want to think about it and like send it to us later, I'll send it to Retro Replay. So like it's no hassle or anything. I just thought like it's a good conversation starter if you have any questions.
And I guess my one question would be, what sort of games were you guys thinking in the future? Are you going back to obviously like the old style games and stuff like that? Like
well, here's the interesting question for you. What would you like to see?
Ooh.
Did they do Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
They did.
They did.
They did do that one, yeah.
I'm trying to so many episodes.
I mean, that's one of our questions that we usually ask, like, what would you like to see them play? Because we know that they have plans for getting back in the studio, and they're gonna have some new interesting ways of kind of bringing things back, but then we're gonna like get new guests and having Nolan sit with different people on the couch. And I know Drew has like a short list of games that he wants to get to.
Yeah.
I guess I squeaked right there. I guess like what kind of guests was he thinking of, bringing on? Like, was it just like,
I mean, they haven't given specifics yet, but they have hopes,
No. They had answered this question on Retro Replay, which is on our show. And I think PJ had said that he'd love to see Nathan Fillion because they had worked all together in Con Man and thought that would be a really great dynamic.
Oh, that's right.
Drew had also mentioned like Seth Green.
Drew mentioned Seth Green, Nathan Fillion.
Claudia Black, I think.
Yeah, kind of loads of people. And it's really nice that they have kind of like a short list. But then again, I'm going to ask you, who do you want to see? Who would you like to see on the show?
I have no idea.
No, you have no idea. So this is the thing. So it's like, if you have a question for Retro Replay, I feel like it's a really great way to like ask you that question. Like, you're the viewer, you're the replayer, you're the subscriber and member.
See?
What do you guys want to see on the show? Because like I said, this show is great for the feedback and giving a voice to the replayers. So if there's something that you want to see, if you're like, hey guys, I really want to see those retro games again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really miss those games. Or I would love to see you try something new. Like, I'd love to see Deadpool, or I'd love to see, Resident Evil 3. Like, I'd love to see this. Like, I feel like this is really a great place to do that and bring your positivity and bring your energy here. Pitch your idea here. because this is where they'll listen.
I see
Okay.
Pagan just put on her invisible like intern hat.
Also, I'm going to steal all of your ideas.
Perfect.
That's like
It's like a
Drew's
Pagan
go-to
snap
gift.
on there.
I'm
Right?
stealing that.
I do actually have a question.
There we
Go
go.
for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey.
I mean, I've started from the first season, so like it was like stuff like the Atari and Sega and stuff. I would like it if they went back to doing like the original Sony PlayStation stuff, because there's loads of games from that I think would work out pretty good on that. But
Yeah, I think you're so right. Do you have any
Absolutely.
suggestions for PlayStation games that you'd like to see on the show? How much time you got? One of those questions.
This
Hold
was
up.
like my console when I was a kid, so I've got like a list.
A list.
So
Listen,
many.
a list's always great.
Cool.
I have one
That-
suggestion.
Go
Did
for
they
it.
do the original Resident Evil?
They did.
Oh, they did. I thought so.
Oh, okay.
Was it actually?
Did
Did
they
they do
do the
Resident Evil
original?
2?
They did Resident
Did
Evil
they? I
2.
think
They
they
did
did,
like
Actually,
yeah.
you're right.
because they did Resident Evil 2,
With the
original
remake.
PlayStation 1, and then they added the remake to
Yeah.
it as well. So
Yeah.
they had a bit of a
I
contrast.
wasn't sure
which-
if the
As a fan,
Oh.
I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed in that because they kind of skimmed over Resident Evil 2, the original. I was like, oh.
yeah.
Anyways, it was a fun episode either way.
So the original Resident Evil for you, Donna,
Yeah.
you think that would be a really
Yeah.
good addition to the show? Cool. Great.
I think they should do like they should get like a cast and crew together, like just them, like you, Pagan, and then they should do like a multiplayer of like Goldeneye on the N64.
Nice.
Oh, Goldeneye. Oh, that's
Do like a
interesting.
four-player multiplayer. Just with
Nice.
them and the crew and the cast.
Yeah, the original like split screen multiplayer
Yeah,
ones where
like
like you're the
just
top
like the
left
Zoom
and then
chat.
the top right. Yeah,
It's like we're looking
okay,
at right
okay.
now.
Yeah.
You're looking at my screen, man.
Oh my
Screen
god.
sensing.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Those are
Throwback
great. Or
on
those
that.
driving games. You know the driving games that are
Oh
yeah.
multiplayer?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. those
Throwback
are
to the
great.
GoldenEye, one of my favorite alternates to that was the South Park game that was on Nintendo
Yes.
64 that used the same engine.
Yes.
I do
And you had
remember
the
that.
Terrence and Phillip dolls that worked like the proximity
Yes.
mines. And I would just load up a stage with the Terrence and Phillip dolls, and people would walk into it, and the explosion would be so massive, the game would crash.
Oh,
Oh my god.
that
the
sounds
best.
amazing.
I've
Oh
never
my
seen this.
God.
It's a
I
South Park
died
version
laughing
of
every time.
it's
Yeah, it
just
was a
a
South Park
Park
game.
game on N64.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It was a first-person shooter made out of the same
Stop.
engine that
I didn't
GoldenEye
even-
was.
I
didn't even
didn't
think
know
of
that
that.
existed.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that
it was
existed.
awesome.
That's cool. I like that.
There you go, Drew.
That's- There you go.
There you go,
yeah.
Drew. One for you. One for you.
That sounds like
buddy.
something that I would do too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love it. Like the frame rate would just plummet to like 5 frames a
It's
second.
like one frame.
Yeah, if that. And it was just you would hear like the fart sound would be like stuck in the audio.
Oh,
Oh, no.
my
Oh
god.
god.
I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah. I would literally pick
Jeez.
up every package I could find on the level and just like until somebody walked into it.
That's
Yeah,
kind of cool. I
good
like that.
times.
I like that.
Oh, man.
Thank you. Thanks for your questions.
nice. So we're gonna move on to our little bit of like a gaming related getting to know you. And our starting question is gonna be, what was your introduction to gaming? And Donna, you already kind of hit on that a little bit, so I'm gonna throw it to you.
oh.
Surprise! Like, just the way she's like, oh.
Come on.
I started like on like things like the Atari and the Sega Master System. I'm pretty much old when it comes to things like that, but
Doesn't
Don't.
matter.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But the one thing I started mainly was the PlayStation. That was my first
Yeah.
gaming
Mhm.
sort of experience. I wasn't very good at it, and that's kind of a pattern that sticks with me today. I'm really
Hey, as long as you're having fun.
I have far too much fun being
Are
bad
you
at them.
me? Like, sounds very familiar.
No, I have far too much fun being
Pagan's
bad
like,
at them.
I suck at games.
Yeah. We all know I suck. Let's all be real. Cool. That's great. So what kind of like what game did you start with on PlayStation?
Parasite
Remember?
Eve.
Oh wow, nice.
Parasite Eve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna
I
throw this
know
out
Parasite.
here that Bring Me the Horizons have a new song called
Yes.
Parasite Eve that's loosely based on that
Yeah.
game, and I'm like,
It is
Fucking awesome. This song is so good.
Oh, I have heard that song. Yeah, I know
Have
what
you?
you're talking about.
It's
Okay,
so
yeah.
good.
It's really
So
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's based on that. So
I saw
Parents
the
said he'd
name and
bring me the
said that's the name of that
horizons. Go for
game,
it.
but I didn't know it was
Yeah.
based on
It's
that.
based on a
Okay,
book.
neat.
It's a dope song.
Yeah.
It's
There's a
dope
movie
song.
too.
Yeah, the movie.
Have you seen the
Is
movie?
there?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
God. It's
The
culturally
movie
wrong.
is weird.
Yeah.
If it's Japanese, it's very
Like I
Japanese.
said that weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome.
Did you have a
That's good to know.
favorite game on the PS1?
Tekken 3.
Okay.
Good choice.
Nice.
Good
Nice.
choice.
Cool. All right, and let's throw it over to you, Andrew. Where did you get started in gaming?
Let's take it on back. Let's see.
The way back.
All the way to
Way back.
yesterday.
Exactly. God, what was I think it would have to be Mario 64. Yeah, that's Mario 64. I think I'd have to say. God, it was
was
just
like your
during,
first game, or like the first, like the main
trying to,
gaming
like-
memory you have?
I think it'd be like the main gaming memory that I had, but if I were to go further back, I'd have to say it was like Mario, like original Mario on the Nintendo.
Okay.
Like
OG.
'cause the OG system, because we had that.
Super Mario Brothers.
So-
Nice.
Yeah, and then we had Sega.
Sega.
Sega. Yeah.
Every time I hear Sega, I'm just like, Sega.
My favorite part, that's a lie. I was going to say the favorite part of the Sonic movie, but it's not. That whole movie was amazing.
It had no right being
Not
that
seeing
good.
it.
Mhm. But it opens
had
with
no right
the
being that
Sega
good, Donna.
logo.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the Sonic games that much, but the movie was
The
awesome.
movie was so good.
I need to watch this movie. I've heard
do.
really good things.
You call
never
yourself a
been to
Jim
see it.
Carrey fan?
Honestly,
Oh,
it's so
God.
good.
I am. Well,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. So what was your favorite part of Mario 64? It's a good game, I know. So it's hard to choose.
That's a broad
Like-
question.
Like the game.
The game itself, I'd have to say, God, probably when you're going into face like Bowser for the first time,
Mm.
like in that game.
Yeah, especially like, did you have the dynamic of like it was the first like 3D Mario game, and it's the first you're playing like, holy cow, I didn't know
Yeah, it
games
was-
could look like this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of blown away by it, especially when you can like jump so many times. And then
Mm.
one time it scared me because I didn't expect this, because I dove into a tree and I was just like grabbed onto the tree. I'm like, what just happened?
Oh,
What?
cool.
So it was just stuff like that. It was really cool seeing like the 3D at the time, and I'm just like, whoa.
Not to mention the amazing voice work of the voice
Mhm.
actor who does Mario, who I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. But like some of the noises and sound effects, especially like when you run into something, you get that like distinctive like oof that Mario makes.
Yeah.
So good. All right.
Charles
so
Andre Martinet.
That's it, Charles. Martinet.
Andre
Oh,
Martinet.
okay.
Yep.
I
He's
don't
been doing
probably said
Mario
Martinet.
since
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
That's
just
cool.
like
I
the
didn't
fact
know
that. Well, I just like the fact that you can like explore the
know.
castle and then like go to the grounds and find like hidden like secret passages and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's such a great classic game.
Love it.
I'm guessing by your guys' blank stares, you're not as familiar with Mario 64.
No,
No.
I didn't
No?
have.
I didn't have an
N64 or
N64.
anything. No, I didn't have any of that.
They were like, we have
PlayStation.
PS1.
I heard Donna's PlayStation, and that's it. That's all I got. What's Mario? Just kidding. I know what Mario is, but I
Alright,
just never
so-
played it on N64.
Very important question about Mario 64, Andrew. Did
Mm.
you pick up the little penguin in the snow level and drop him off the level?
I'm not a serial killer.
What the fuck? Why would you do that?
No. Whoa.
That's like that, you know what that's like? It's like Secrets of
Alright.
Mana, where you come across the little like rabbit in the forest. You're like, oh, look at this
Yeah.
cute thing. Let me kill it. You're like,
Murder.
First off, I've tried so hard to deliver that penguin to its mother. I will say this. I
This
got
is
frustrated
why.
and threw him out. I threw him off the level, so yes, I did.
see.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not at first.
awful.
Not
Oh,
at
no.
first, but I just threw him. There's an end of the level, so you can see it 'cause right when you start. And I'm just like, I'm getting so tired of this.
I've had
So I
enough.
picked
So you
him up and I threw him off the map.
What happens? Does he just respawn? Do you just respawn?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I think so.
respawns. Yeah.
That's
He
so
definitely comes back.
mean. Oh my
But like, I
gosh,
don't know if any one
guys.
person, for those who
Crazy.
don't know, like Andrew said, there's a mission in that game where you have to like
Mhm.
pick up a little baby penguin and bring it back to its mother. But the level is a massive pain in the ass to
Oh.
navigate, especially when you're carrying something. So a lot of times you get pissed. So you're like, screw it, I'm just gonna drop down, and Mario gets stuck in the snow, and you'd lose the penguin, and he'd disappear.
Sometimes he'll even just walk off the map too. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I can't. Now I got to start all over again.
Oh my god, somebody picked up the big penguin on YouTube.
Mm.
There's a YouTube
I love
video
the
called Super Mario
Pagan
64
Google.
Penguin Massacre.
It's-
He's throwing him off the level!
intense.
See? It's a thing. It's a
And then he
thing.
picked
I'm
up
looking the wrong way.
mom.
It's a
He picked
thing.
up the mom and
Pagan.
threw her off. Oh my god, what am I witnessing?
Murder.
Oh my god. Why
Penguin
is
massacre.
You know how many people have viewed this? 76,000 people have viewed him pick up the baby penguin and then consecutively pick up the mother penguin and chuck her off the ledge. Holy shit! Mario was a jerk. Yeah, damn right. Like hashtag Mario's a jerk. Okay,
Oh
sorry.
my goodness.
That was worth it.
That was interesting.
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
like I
Alright.
said, not initially.
That's, I mean, what has been seen cannot be unseen. I'm traumatized. Like, oh god.
Now go
All
back
right.
and play Mario now, Pagan.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to do it. Like, oh,
You can not kill the
penguin.
penguin. You can
Yeah,
try.
I'm
would.
just not gonna kill the penguin. I'm just gonna bring
No.
the penguin to his mom like you're supposed to.
Don't worry.
Jeez.
You'll be corrupted in no time.
Even if I played Secrets of Mana, I would not be killing the rabbits. I'd be like, I don't care if they're gonna give me a coin. I'm just gonna leave them there. They're cute and fluffy.
They do bite you if you don't kill them.
But they're so cute. Oh my god, this poor rabbits. Okay, anyway.
Do you let the dogs kill you every time you run into them in video games?
No.
Hard bang.
Wow.
No, I
Wow,
it's,
Pagan.
it's funny how I actually didn't mind that. Like The Last of Us Part 2 didn't bother me. That's
But
fucked up.
rabbits.
Yeah, it
But throw a penguin off a map, though.
yeah,
Oh
but
my
they're like little
God.
cartoony style stuff. Whereas like these things will actually kill you. Like the dogs in Last of
Yeah.
Us will actually kill you. So I mean, justified. But you don't have to kill them.
Kind of. I did get through a lot
Kinda.
of areas without killing dogs. I'm proud of that.
Oh, congratulations! I didn't give a fuck.
You're
I was like,
"Fuck
just
ah."
kill everybody. I don't
And
care.
we're the
I want to
monsters
be
for
clear of
killing
this
the penguin in
list.
Mario
Yeah.
Bros.
I know. I'm so-
Anyways, let's do a hard move on
Hypocrite.
segue
yeah.
to, do you have a preferred platform? I think we might have already figured that out, but I'm going to let it go anyways, and we'll start with Andrew.
PC.
All right.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. We've had a few
I mean,
of those.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do love PS4. I'm a huge Sony fan, but there's just so many things I couldn't do on a PlayStation, where I could, do on a PC.
True.
Fair.
And a lot of like PS4 exclusives are making their way to PC anyway, so
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you been playing the PC for a long time, or did you come off like were you on like a PlayStation console trip and then you moved to PC?
Well, we've had a PC. God, what did we were? This kind of goes back to that one question. What was your game that you first played?
Mhm.
But it
Oh,
was like the Doom,
Oh
saga,
yeah.
that kind of
Shareware?
thing.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
stuff like that. It was just like, but we couldn't afford a PC because it's so expensive. So I
Yeah.
just went to console,
Okay.
and then I was thinking like, okay, well, I would like to try out the console or the PC, and to just kind of play games that I've always wanted to play. Like for example, Hell Let Loose is a World War II game. You can't play that on any other you can't play that on console.
Okay.
So there's like early access games, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like, I
there's
would
a
like
lot
to
of
try
things
that.
that on
Okay.
PC that consoles
Cool.
don't do generally.
Yeah.
They're starting to get some of that. Like there's game previews on console now,
Mhm.
or like the early beta builds that are like works in progress. That's been going on PC for years, though they've been doing
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It helps the developers debug stuff, and
Mhm.
because they need people to hey, try this game out. We need your help. So
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh good. Do you remember what your first computer was?
it'd be the one I bought, which was February of last year. The one we
Oh, I
had
That
see,
was
was our
your
okay.
that was our
very first.
This is my very first PC that I bought, and that was like
Oh,
2018,
Mm.
I
2019.
see, I see.
I was
But
because my
originally
first
you were on a family
family
PC.
computer was a Packard Bell.
Packard Bell. Oh my god.
Packard
had-
Bell.
I think we had.
I don't even
98.
know what was our was.
It had 8 megabytes of
Wow.
RAM, I think. If
What
that
a
How
makes sense.
far
time.
we've come.
What a
though, huh?
time.
What the fuck?
I think we had he had 98. I think Windows 98.
Mine had Windows 95.
Yeah, mine had
Oh.
95
I
as well.
definitely think we had Windows 95. I just don't know what computer it was.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
Cool.
one though.
It was a Dell.
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 I just think of those terrible Dell commercials.
Oh my god.
How about you, Donna? Do you have a preferred platform, or what was your first? I'm lost now. What?
No. What's your
We
preferred
get so
platform?
sidetracked. The preferred
What's your
platform. I know.
preferred platform?
I started to say that, and my brain swirled.
It's fine. It's fine.
All
we're
right,
back.
Red Bull in the trash.
Yeah. No more drinking for
More
you,
water.
Dan.
More of our there you go.
Anyways, what's your preferred platform?
I'm more of a console gamer, so either Xbox or PS4.
Either
Do you
one,
have-
huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Just,
You
I
is
good
it
can't
either
game
way?
pick one.
dependent?
Picking one's like picking a favorite child. I can't do it.
No,
Oh,
fair.
I
It's
like
just-
that.
it's
That's a
game
good
dependent, right?
answer. I
It is
like
a good
that
answer. Do you know what? I think it's probably the first answer we've had that's like
think so.
both.
I appreciate that answer.
Do you have a favorite game for both consoles?
Um.
For each console?
Oh.
Ooh, good
Um,
question.
I actually got The Last of Us for the PS4 because we'd got it, and I think we got Overwatch with it. But I'm really crap at Overwatch, so I was like, oh well, I'll go to like pick up some things, and I think the first Last of Us, I ended up getting that and started playing through that. But I cannot really remember for the Xbox because we got that one quite a long time ago,
Okay, perfect.
and then
If-
not at my house.
If you're playing Xbox like recently, is there anything that you're playing now on Xbox?
There's a thing now that you can like play like older games on there, or like I think it's like the PlayStation Plus. You can like play them.
Game Pass?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And me and my sister have been playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
Game Pass is awesome. I love Game
Yeah.
Pass.
I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
Right. But
That is a
tried
rabbit
it.
hole you do not want to go down.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think Josie
yeah.
said this before as well. I think it was Josie. Sorry, replayers if I'm wrong, but I think she's like a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, and I was like,
Let us
I
know
haven't
if
got a
Pagan's
clue what
wrong in
that
the
is wrong.
comments.
Yeah, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's Josie who loves the Kingdom Hearts game. So, yeah, interesting. Never played it.
I can only think of Left 4 Dead when I think Josie because I know she fucking loves that game.
Yeah, true. Fuck, I'm gonna have to message her now. Be like, hey, is this real or do I need to cut that out of the show?
But going back to Donna, I want to just express that I appreciate that you like both consoles because that's
yeah.
you know what that's very okay. Like
Oh yeah.
you can like both consoles and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like you get to enjoy the best of both worlds. You don't have to choose one. And it's kind of like PC in a sense is the same way where PC has pretty much access to everything except for maybe the handful of exclusives.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I appreciate that you're like, who cares about preference? You know, like
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree with that 100% too, because it's like go by what interests you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what makes you
play
smile.
what makes you happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically. That's how
Yeah,
I live
for
my
sure.
life pretty much.
Excellent. It's how you should. It's how you should, Donna.
Anyways, I feel like the next question that we have is going to be difficult for both of you guys. Do you have a favorite
boy.
game and or franchise? We'll try to throw it at Donna here if I'm not surprising you too much.
I'm not as surprised now as I used to be.
Good.
I think the fear is starting to wear off.
You've seen me
It
fuck up
shouldn't.
enough. You're good.
still going to be tested. Like you're still going
Aw,
to be
man.
rated on this.
Oh,
Be
well.
afraid.
Just kidding. No, go ahead. Sorry. What's your favorite game?
Can this be for anything? Like any
Yeah.
any console?
Anything.
Any platform, anything.
Sonic 2, Sega Mega
Alright.
Drive.
All right.
Oh,
Nice.
very
I
nice.
can respect that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's
there
called
a-
the Genesis over in the States.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Genesis. in the
Genesis
States.
over here. But I know what
am-
you're talking about when you say Mega Drive. I'm very
Is
aware of
there-
the term.
Is there a reason it's your favorite game? Siri, I was not talking to you. Sorry.
I
She's
was gonna
so
ask the same
rude.
thing.
She's such an eavesdropper. My God.
Stop listening.
Stop listening to me. Facebook, Google, shut up. Is there a reason that Sonic 2 is your favorite game? I mean, does it have like a special meaning or memory to you?
It's actually got more to do with my younger brother because
Oh,
he was a
okay.
huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So we grew up with like, you know, the cartoons and the games and everything. And
Nice.
I think 2 was the one that we all got to play together. And it was for a change one of the ones that I wasn't crap at. So
Nice,
Wait,
that's
you're
always
good
good.
at Sonic? I've never been good at Sonic.
I'm worse at it now than what I was when I was younger. It's the same with a lot of the remakes of the older games that have come out. Like when you were a kid, you're like, oh, this is so easy. And then I think when you play them when you're older, you're like, this is so difficult. How?
Sounds like me playing The Lion King.
Oh,
That game, yeah, because I
feel your
remember
pain.
you. I remember you shitting on that game, being like, "That game's easy," and then you replayed it like
It's
on like
not.
a
was
later, and
when
you're
I
like,
was 10 years
"Oh."
old.
Yeah, it's not as easy now. That game was so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you got to enjoy Sonic with your brother, so it has a little bit more of like
Yeah.
a special meaning for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that.
Cool.
Cool.
Andrew,
Yes, sir.
same question.
All right. It would have to be Metal Gear, like Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh, nice. Like the whole series as a franchise.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, is there any particular one that stands out to you?
Snake Eater, the third one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be like my favorite because I love the fact that you can, you know, it was like to kind of go back for a second, my friend got me hooked on that because he knew I like stealth games.
Okay.
And with that game, you can manually camouflage yourself and all that stuff, and it's just the stealth atmosphere. I loved it.
I mean, all the Metal Gear games had stealth to some degree, but a lot of people gravitated to Snake Eater because of the camouflage element, I think. But you said you're a fan of stealth games. What other stealth games did you play?
Splinter Cell, like was it the first one? I love Splinter, and throughout the series too. I love Splinter Cell series. God, what else?
Was Splinter Cell PlayStation 3?
It started on
was-
PS2 original
PS2,
Xbox.
okay.
Yes, yeah.
PC, I believe, too.
Okay. Oh.
And there was 3 games on the original consoles, I believe. 3, maybe 4. Before
so.
it went on to PS3, Xbox 360.
I think it was like Chaos Theory or something. I'm trying to remember.
I forget now. I played the first 3. I have the first 3 on the original Xbox. There somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was a big fan of those games. And it's funny because it was the other way around for me. Like I played Splinter Cell long after I played Metal Gear because Metal Gear came out first. Like at least Metal Gear Solid and 2 and 3, I believe, all came out before Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I think they were like the
Pretty
first
close.
before Splinter Cell.
But anyway, so it was recommended to you by a friend. Like, you like stealth, you'll like these.
Yeah, he just kind of said, "Hey, try this out. You know, you might like it." And I enjoyed it. And then we played Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Online, which was a lot of fun to do because you could do a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
You
What'd
can
you
do
think of
Metal
it,
Gear
like, the-
Online?
What's that?
Metal Gear Solid 4 had an online.
Have an online player? Wow, cool. I didn't know.
Actually, no. My friend was telling me that the third one had an online as well.
Oh, it did? Did it?
Oh.
But
I wasn't
he
aware of
took
that.
it. He took it off. Hideo Kojima, I think he took that off and then went to the next one, the fourth one.
Fair.
So
How'd you gravitate to like the story in Metal Gear? Because Metal Gear's always had like a bonkers story.
it was always, yeah, you had to kind of like, it's like, okay, I got to stick with this just so I can understand it, you know? But yeah, no, that would probably be my favorite franchise.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice.
We kind of hit on this already too in the chat that we've been having so far, but is there a game you guys would like to see on Retro Replay proper? So, you know, like when they're back in the studio on the couch, sitting down, playing a game, you know, with a guest, hopefully, you know, what game would you like to see them play if we haven't already said, and or a guest you'd like to see them play it with?
I'd like to see Nolan play Splinter Cell with Michael Ironside.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Interesting.
That's a hot take right there, sir.
A hot take. Hot take.
That's a hot take.
I
Just
need
to
to Google
see.
Splinter Cell.
Drew, are you
I've
listening?
heard of this, but yeah.
Yeah, well, Michael Ironside did the voice of Sam
Yes,
Fisher.
he was Sam Fisher. He was the original.
That would be pretty meta because it'd be similar to how like we were watching Nolan play Uncharted.
Oh,
What
okay. Because
happened,
I knew it was
Yeah.
a Tom
Yeah.
Clancy game. I just
Mhm.
don't think I've ever played it.
So we could get that experience of watching the actor who plays the character play himself, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So that would be, I think that would be a great episode.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
good one.
Cool.
And I would ask you further questions on that, but you've already went pretty deep in Splinter Cell, so it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's a really good. Is Tom Clancy's games though? Like, I mean, with Splinter Cell and stuff like that, is that all online, or is it just like is it a story based game? Can you play solo?
It depends.
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege, that's nothing but multiplayer, and then you got
Yeah, I
Assassin's
feel like
Creed.
Quite
Mhm.
a few with the Tom Clancy series and stuff like that. There are a lot of them. I just know them from being online games, right? They're just
Mm-hmm.
multiplayer online. Are
exclusively.
they story based?
It depends because they've been making Tom Clancy's games for years. And I
Years,
believe
yeah.
it started with the
Long time.
original Rainbow Six, which
It was PS1,
which was on
Oh,
PC, and I
Yes,
believe
it
the
was.
PC had an online mode. But this was way back when online still wasn't really a normal
Oh.
thing for gaming.
mhm.
Okay.
So a lot of the original Tom Clancy games were story-based games that may have had a multiplayer mode, but not online.
Yeah, I might have to change my answer from the
Mhm.
franchise because, in all
Oh,
honesty,
okay.
the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wait a minute, I remember all these games I played.
Yeah,
And it would
there's a
have to be
lot
the
of
Tom
Clancy
games.
It'd have to be the Tom Clancy franchise because I remember Ghost Recon back in the day.
There's a lot. Like there's Ghost
Oh,
Recon,
yeah.
there's Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
I was
that's
a big
right.
fan of
Mhm.
Rainbow Six 3 back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, I loved
I
the
didn't
book of
like
it.
the Ghost Recon games that much though. I didn't gravitate
The
towards
Ghost
them as
Recon?
much.
I actually enjoyed it a bit, but I think it was Rainbow Six I gravitated the most that because I liked the book that
Mm.
Tom
Yeah.
Clancy wrote. So
Right. Yeah, because
Cool.
that's how most of those games are based off of one
Yeah.
of Tom Clancy's books. Hence the title
Oh.
Tom
essentially,
Clancy.
yeah, it's a good read.
Oh, I didn't
Mhm.
know this.
Yeah, Tom
Mhm.
Clancy is an author.
Yeah.
If you didn't.
Well, I didn't know that.
Was he?
Well,
but
now
he
you know.
passed.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Oh.
That is super informative. Thank you. I don't know. I've
Mhm.
just never. I've heard of Splinter Cell and I've heard of like the Tom Clancy series, like Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon and stuff. Just
Mhm.
Yeah.
never played them myself. Just never did.
Yeah. So any
It's a
game
well
that's
Yeah, I
known.
haven't either.
titled Tom Clancy, it's because it's based
Yeah.
off of something that he's written,
Mhm.
and they're basically using that licensing.
Yeah. I also like. I'm curious about Michael Ironside because obviously I know him to do voices and stuff like that, and he's like in the new Harley
He's also
Quinn.
been in quite a few
series and stuff.
movies.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah,
in
he
like Total
seems-
Recall. He was in
Oh, that's right. He was.
Starship Troopers.
I know him from something, so I'm like on his IMDb page, being like, I've seen you in something way back when, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me. And I'm like, why do I know your face? Like I just know his face.
He's
from
got
something.
one hell of a voice, though.
Yeah,
I
he
will say
does.
that.
Yeah, one hell of a voice. Doesn't he play like a bad guy in a lot of stuff?
He's
Mhm.
almost always a
Yeah.
bad
Always,
guy.
It's always is,
almost always
yeah.
a villain.
Yeah.
That must
pretty
be so
much.
fun. That must be awesome. But yeah, there you go.
Well, while you're digging on that, I was gonna
I'll
throw the
find
question
out later. I'll
over
find
to
out another day.
Donna. What would you like to see Nolan and plus guests play in a possible future episode?
I've honestly got no idea. I'm not honestly sure.
Hmm.
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I would be more than happy for Nolan and gang to go back to doing like the Atari and Sega and stuff. I don't know. It's
So you wouldn't
something
really care what they were playing. You just like
no,
watching
I
them
don't
play
mind.
like the
I
retro.
genuinely enjoy watching like what they do play through, even if I don't know the game or
Yeah.
I haven't followed it all the way through.
All right, no problem.
I'm the same
I
as
mean,
that.
It's kind of like I have
Yeah.
a good list of games that I'd like to see them play, and some of them they have, and some of them
Yeah.
they haven't, and some of them Drew knows I'm waiting for, and it's like,
Like I said, that he knows I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
mm,
TikTok, Drew. Like,
I don't take Rambo as an answer as to why they're not playing Akari Warriors. So
oh, I see.
Mm.
That's
You're still
basically what
gunning-
Drew
you're
told
still
me. Like,
gunning
well,
for
they
that.
did play Rambo, and I'm like, that's not Akari Warriors, though.
Similar. No, fair.
All right, so Donna would just like to see all retro games.
Like all of them.
I'm sure it
all
must have
of
been
them.
I'm sure it must have been a trip though to see Roger Craig Smith on there, right? From the Sonic series.
Yeah.
Playing with the guys and stuff like that, or like doing the little episode thing. I think it'd be really nice to have him back on the show, actually. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to
see
see him
him
as a
back.
guest come
Yeah.
back on. And on that note, going back to Donna, what you said, you said you were a fan of the Sonic cartoon series.
Yes.
Was that also he did the Roger Craig Smith did the voice in the
Believe
original
so.
cartoons, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
I
I'll
think so.
Google it and fact check it. right
Yeah,
now.
good. Yeah,
Just in
I
case.
IMDb them all.
Just in case.
I'm curious, like, were you as confused as I was about why Sonic was always eating chili dogs?
Yes.
Okay, because chili dogs have nothing to do with the video games,
No.
but it was a thing in the cartoon.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when
Oh, that's weird.
when like the after playing them when the series had ended, you're thinking, where the hell's all the chili dogs? What where? What's that got to do with that? But yeah, I'm just as confused. I am still confused to this day, and I'm 34 years old. So.
Well, as soon as you
Amazing.
mentioned the cartoon, that was the first thought I
Yeah.
had was how he's
Yeah.
always eating chili dogs.
You know
I
what?
never knew why.
Hold up.
What you
You
got,
know
Pagan?
what? Roger Craig Smith did not do the voice of the animation, actually.
No.
Oh,
He
no.
did the
I think it was
games.
Jaleel White or something.
It was Jaleel White. It
Really?
was, yeah, from Family Matters.
Wow.
It was Jaleel White doing the voice of Sonic from
Shout out to
1983.
Jaleel White because they did a
Dude.
cutaway of him this week.
They did. Dude,
Bring
I
it
fucking-
around.
I loved that show. Like, I fucking loved that show. The Family Matters show and stuff like that. Like, that was great. Wow, Rob Paulson was in that too. Cool. Tidbits. You're welcome. But yeah, that was cool. So shout out to Jaleel White. He was actually the voice of the cartoon, and Roger Craig Smith just did the games.
Oh, okay.
There you
It's
go.
good to know.
Uh-huh.
'Cause I wasn't even aware of that. Anyways, I
neither.
was a fan of those old cartoons, but I didn't like the games that much.
I don't remember the cartoons. Like, I think maybe I remember seeing it on once, but I never watched them. Like, I wasn't a big
Yeah.
fan of the cartoons.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that was
yeah.
more like a Saturday morning cartoon thing
Yeah.
here. If you-
Okay.
Did they do Saturday morning cartoons over there?
Yes, of course they do
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons.
All
Like, there's morning cartoons every day. Depends
Right,
on
but
what
there was-
channel you're watching.
But there were specifically Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
Oh.
That was like
Yeah.
the Friday night, prime time. This is when all the big cartoons aired. Was
I don't
Saturday
remember
morning.
that. Especially
Oh, it was a
especially
huge
in
thing
South
over here
Africa,
when I was a
I
kid.
remember, like, well, actually, to be fair, it's South Africa. A lot of it was just on like the main channels, and they were just always on in the mornings, generally, and then Saturday morning or Sunday morning would be like the time that you could actually sit in front of it. Otherwise, you're going to school.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
basically
Cartoon
it.
Network was a thing whenever I'd go to my aunt's house. I always remember watching because she had Sky. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for Cartoon Network and Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
is on. And that would just be on, like, whenever we would have a trip to my aunt's house, that would just be like the highlight, like, that we were
Yeah.
looking forward to, because we would never be privy to those kind of cartoons like Ed, Ed and Eddie or the Powerpuff
Yeah,
Girls or things
I
like that.
wasn't
Ed and
either.
Eddie.
Yeah. So
Mm.
really good cartoons on there. So
Yeah,
we
those
would,
were some of my favorite cartoons as a kid growing up. Were those like afternoon Cartoon Network cartoons?
yeah.
Ed
Yeah.
and Eddie for sure, one of them.
Yeah. So we'd go out in the day, like have a great time, do whatever, like the family stuff. And then they're like, all right, kids, like, go do whatever. And we'd either be swimming or we'd be watching Cartoon Network. And I'm like, yes. And with Sky, you could see the schedule like you do now. So like you can see what's coming up and you're like, oh, it's just 3 episodes of whatever it was. And I was like, nah, not interested in that. I'm going to come back for like Dexter's Laboratory at like 6.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to go swimming and come back. Highlight of my childhood.
To talking about the content of Retro Replay this week, starting with Father Knows Best. And I was going to try to make that a little like bam, 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 because the episode opened with Nolan finding out that he was C-3PO, and we had that amazing edit.
That was great.
Stephanie.
Oh, I think I
So
remember
sad.
that.
The look, the disheartened look on his face, was just like, oh, what? This is who they started me out as?
It was utter disappointment, and he was just
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
He's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 3PO. That was a brilliant edit to start that show off. Like, and I just want to kick this talk off with how I love the ever like escalating editing that's happening in that show.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more like retro replay.
Yeah.
And less of a let's play of Lego.
Mhm.
And I think that's where the show is really getting a lot of its character. So to throw it to you guys, we like to ask, what do you think of Father Knows Best as a show? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit already, but I just want to get a little bit more. We like to gauge and see how everybody's feeling about the show. Start with Andrew.
Good start.
I know, right?
Constantly putting everybody on the spot here.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Pass.
No, I actually just like the, again, like we talked about it before where
the beginning of the show.
Yeah, in the beginning where I like the dynamic of it. But I do see what you're saying, Dan, where they're putting those edits in. They're kind of getting back into tune with kind of the heart and soul of retro replay. And I think, honest to God, I think they're doing great. They're doing just fine. I don't think there was anything I would change. I mean, except for just, try to be you. That's about it.
Nice.
You do you. You do you, boo. It's okay. But like I said, I just love the fact that they're playing that Star Wars Lego. I never played it personally, but it's fun to watch them play it. And it's just kind of, like I said before, like to de-stress and just watch them play.
It's definitely a good chill show.
It really is, and I think that's why I love about it. About Fathers Know Best.
Father knows
kind of, sort
of.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I am. Yeah, I grew up watching
just
Star
didn't
Wars.
play the Lego Star Wars series.
I just never played the Lego. I never really got into the Lego stuff.
Okay,
I know that's blasphemy to Aaron, but
it's all good though. I mean, not everybody's going to be able to get on those, and if you
No.
don't know, at a glance, the games look very childish, but they're actually pretty decent fun for all ages.
Oh yeah, and I can see it for that, for like a family friendly game and stuff like that. And, but I think the one Star Wars game I played was oh god, it was on N64. What was it? You
was
basically
it a flying one?
It was mixed. It was
Okay.
it was a mixed one. I'm trying to remember.
Was
what
it Rogue Squadron?
No, it was trying to remember. This is where it's gonna kill me.
Me and Donna are like
Google.
Google.
Like,
Help me out
Donna, do
here.
you like Star Wars?
yeah.
Like
While you're doing that, like, hold up a minute, Andrew. Donna, what about you?
We'll come
Are
back
you a Star
around.
Wars fan?
I like Star Wars. I'm just not super into it as a lot of other people are, but I do
That's
enjoy
okay.
the Lego. I do enjoy the Lego Star Wars games. There's lots of humor in it that, like, if you can pick up on it and it's not in the film, you're like, oh, that's pretty silly. And
Yeah.
there's loads of it. I think there's more of it in the newer games that were released. So, I just enjoy a lot of the humor in those. But I think I only started getting into Star Wars after the new films came out.
Oh wow.
That's okay. You can get into it at any time or just never like me.
Yeah.
Or never, or just hate. Let the hate fill you.
The hatred.
I feel the disappointment in like all the Star Wars fans and like Drew, who's like diehard Star Wars fan, like just sink in as soon as I'm like, yep, don't like Star Wars. They're just like,
Yep.
just a sigh. Like, I go down in the respect level, like it just goes, oh, like ways.
Donna, how do you like the show of Father Knows Best, regardless of Star Wars?
I actually really enjoy the fact that I think it's like what Andrew had mentioned. It's a very Andrew Daniel, that it's a very chilled out sort of show. I can have like my headphones on my way to and from work and listen to it, and it's actually really. I quite enjoy just listening to it as well. And also I like the banter between Cooper and Nolan. It just
Nice.
it works really well.
Yeah.
If they were to continue doing Father Knows Best in the sense of it's basically specifically co-op focused, is there any game that you could think of that you'd like to see them playing co-op wise?
Portal 2.
Perfect.
Portal
We've
2.
We've actually
great
gotten that answer a
game.
couple
Good
of
one.
times.
Yeah,
That's a good
we've
one.
had that requested a few times actually.
Yeah. Would you happen to have a thought on that, Andrew?
Not right now.
Or Portal
trying to
2
think.
would have been your take.
Portal. She took my first answer.
Portal
on that
2
one.
is a good
It was Portal
answer,
2.
though.
Yeah.
It's a great co-op game. It's a lot of fun. And I can imagine the banter that they would have, like trying to solve the puzzles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game, right? Ultimately. Yeah, it's cool.
I would like to see him play Overcooked.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see them play
That would be
Overcooked.
great.
What a good suggestion.
Nolan raging. I can just
what
see
a
it.
good suggestion.
Because
That's
Rachel,
a good one.
my fiance and I and my friend, we've got each other's throats over that.
Dude, yeah, same. When we've had like 4 people come in and we're like, okay, guys, this is the rundown, okay? And like me and Adam would have played the levels and be like, okay, so this one moves, okay? And they're like, what do you mean? And we're like, we're fucking moves. So just make sure that you're on this side and I'm on this side. We got to have coordination.
Who does
Yeah.
dishes?
Yeah, a lot of people have been murdered.
In real life, because of Overcooked.
That's how Richard gets all his victims.
It's
all just Overcooked. And they're like, come on in. Fuck, I killed another one. Oh God,
God damn it.
God damn it.
I did look up the Star Wars for the M64. It was
Okay.
Shadows of the Empire.
Oh,
On
okay, I remember
N64.
that one.
That was probably one of my favorites as a kid too.
Cooked is a great answer. I would love to see that, and we'll see what we get from Father Knows Best going forward. Because I know they are looking at other Lego games, but they're also open to other suggestions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see them playing anything co-op with that dynamic, especially because the Lego games are very chill. So I think a game like Overcooked that might make things a little bit more frustrating.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I think you're so right. I think to
Get
bring
those
that element
tensions a
of
little
like
higher.
frustration would be great. Actually, yeah, you're so right.
If it gets a
I mean-
laugh out, you know.
Yeah.
For the longest time, before we went into quarantine with COVID, and we were watching, Retro Replay proper, and we asked, "What games would you like to see?" A lot of times, people would say, "I want them to play a game that'll piss them off."
Yeah. What was
More or
what was
less.
the one that's like really requested? It's a hard game. Is it Bloodborne or
Dark
well,
Souls.
that is
Dark Souls?
Bloodborne
That's
or
it.
Dark
Yeah.
Souls.
Someone was
Well,
like,
that's
play Dark
silly.
Souls, and other people were like, please don't put yourself through
Don't
that.
do
And
that
everyone
to
else is
yourself.
like,
Don't do it.
Even I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I was like, if you hate yourself, yeah, play Dark Souls.
If you want to spend 30 minutes trying to dig your controller out of a wall, then go ahead.
fair.
I like the fact that Nolan was, I shouldn't say it like that, but was when he was struggling just trying to going from platform to platform.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's me right there in a nutshell. So just struggling to play
Not
the
everybody
game.
can do it. Some people struggle.
Not
with
everybody.
platforming.
Yeah.
I know I probably wouldn't do any better.
Yeah. I wanted to shout out this episode had a retro rewind to itself, which was interesting. And it was basically them just talking about like how super focused they are on getting true Jedi every time they're playing. But that was cool that they kind of a little bit of a throwback with the retro
Yeah.
rewind because man, it's probably been a while
Been a
since we've had a
while,
retro
yeah.
rewind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And,
it was the Dagobah system they were playing this week, right?
That's
Dagobah.
yes.
Because I think Nolan was really excited about that last week and was like, "Oh, I can't wait to play this." And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have to save it for next week." So I was really interested to see what this level contained and stuff like that, and like why this was his favorite level. I totally see why. Like, it's such a great level. I think it's probably one of the better levels in the game
Yeah, for
so far
sure.
that
And
I've seen.
the excitement when Yoda got on Nolan's back
Yeah,
was
I
good.
love like R2's little scope. So cute.
When he's in the water.
Yeah. When he's in the water and he's just a little scope out. I'm like, oh my God, this level's adorable. I love it. And he shocks people. Like the R2D2 shocks them. Just the best. I actually enjoyed this one.
It was a good one. It had a lot of great
Yeah.
cutaways. That's kind of like
Yeah.
I was saying, like the editing is going, like it's getting progressively better and kind of getting more in the flow of what the older episodes of Retro Replay were. You get that little bit of a reference, cutaway, and it gets that. It spices it up a little bit. Not that the show's boring, but like sometimes you're just kind of like zoned out and you're like, yep, that's a Lego game.
Yeah.
But they
that's
zone
fair.
out too, though. They kind of like, they go quiet sometimes because they're really hyper focused on what they're
Yeah.
doing. But it's not a bad thing either. but it's nice to get that little mix up of humor and the jokes and the cutaways, especially the robot chicken Star Wars. Those are the best.
Yeah.
They are the best cutaways. I'm surprised they haven't done more Family Guy cutaways.
Maybe
Because he does Herbert as well, but then I'm wondering, is there a licensing issue? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just surprised that they haven't done more of them when Nolan would do like Herbert versions.
And we're back, and we're going to talk about Uncle Nole. How's that?
Excellent. Really love the energy. But can you do it again? Just less shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Less terrible.
That was legit actual direction that I've received from a director before in
Less
college.
shit.
So yeah, he's like, well, you know what? That was brilliant.
great.
But can you do it again? Just less shit. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
Just
appreciate
So
your
that's why
honesty.
I put that
Just
out
be a
there.
little less you.
A
Okay,
little less,
perfect.
I don't know, emo, whatever that was.
Whatever
Get the
that
fuck out of
is.
there. I was like, great. Thanks.
Well, we're talking about Uncle Noli this week from the episode titled "How to Be More Open to the Backdoor Boogaloo." What the hell is he talking about?
Bum, bum, bum.
This was a long Uncle
Literally.
Noli.
Yeah.
It was 11 minutes long and 18 questions. Not that we count these. With
Yeah, who's
something
counting?
a little new called Rapid Fire, where they shot off 6 questions very quickly. So there's a lot of Uncle Noli to go over this week, but we'd rather like to know, do you have a particular favorite? And we'll talk about those. Let's start with Donna.
I've not actually watched any of the recent Uncle Noli Noah's ones.
No.
Well, that's great. Moving on to Andrew. Just kidding.
Bye.
Perfect.
Perfect.
saw
Thank
her,
you.
Don't pick me.
No,
You
I
have got
think
some
the only-
laughs ahead of you, Donna. Let me just say, you've got some good laughs coming your way.
I think the one thing that I picked up on, I feel for Mr. Spudsies, who
Yeah,
there
who
you
wrote
go.
in the
Mr.
question?
Spudsies has lots
Here we
of
go.
problems.
It's lots of problems. He got one big problem.
Mr.
Yeah.
Spudsies. Well, let's piggyback off of that. So you know about Mr.
Yeah.
Spudsies' questions, correct?
Mhm.
I cannot remember them off the top of my head, but a lot of the questions were from Mr. Spudsies, and I'm thinking, yeah, you sure you're all right there, mate?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you okay?
That was the backdoor boogaloo question. So what
That
the
was the
title of the
backdoor
episode.
boogaloo.
Yeah, it was.
So there was 2 Mr. Spudsie questions back to back. The first one
Yeah.
asking, how do I get my girlfriend to be more open to the backdoor boogaloo? And the follow-up question of, how do you get things unstuck from a hole they just did not fit in the first place?
Hound.
That's great.
So we can talk about that if you like.
No, you're fine.
I think we get the gist there that Mr. Spudsies
Yeah.
either didn't listen or didn't get the advice in time,
Didn't get
I
the
get the
memo in
memo.
time. I feel like that was definitely how
as Nolan
that
had put
happened.
Oh man,
Yeesh. Sorry, Mrs. Spudsies.
that's a
poor Mrs.
Fuck.
Spudsies.
As
As Nolan said in the
Yeah,
first
In a
answer,
position.
go get a prostate exam, come home and apologize.
that's actually the best answer.
Yeah.
Actually, in my opinion, that is actually a good answer.
Yeah, it was a very funny answer. It's great when Uncle Noli could play off that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, those kind of questions are the greatest. Like, I think they're super fun. I'm loving that it was a follow-up question. I feel like this is the
Right
first
off the
time we've
bat.
had we've had a question and then a follow-up question right off the bat. That's
Yeah.
great.
It might have been the funniest part about that when he goes, our next question is Mr. Spudsies.
He's like,
Like,
Mr.
uh-oh.
Boogaloo. Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, I think my favorite question that was asked was your favorite Kevin Smith movie.
Good.
And when that was asked, I'm just like this. Please say Clerks. Please say Clerks. Please say Clerks.
Come on.
And he said it. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
Do a
I was
little
so
win for
happy
you.
about that. Oh my
mental
God, that was
celebration.
it was a joyous day.
So is Clerks your
was-
favorite Kevin
Yes.
Smith movie?
That would be my favorite Kevin Smith movie. That's honestly, it was. It captures a certain environment, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm familiar with that kind of environment when it comes to like retail or just
Hmm.
Yeah.
overall of shitheads. They got to deal.
Yeah, I've not seen this movie,
was
so I
gonna ask,
presume it's like.
Have you seen that movie, Pagan?
No, is this about like someone
Like the
working in retail?
Hoot.
It's very
No,
much a
it's-
slice of life kind of
Yeah.
movie, I guess.
Okay.
It's a mixed mash of everything
Hmm.
in some way. You know, it's about a store clerk and
Okay.
Give Pagan the cliff notes, Andrew.
Oh my god!
you can.
Yes, dude. Oh man, where to start? Is deal with dumb customers,
Setting,
drug
Jersey,
dealers. Here's the
1995.
This sounds like
pretty
my
much.
job.
Oh yeah,
I think
Dumb
if that's. I
customers,
don't
drug
remember if
dealers,
that's exactly it.
definitely.
You can correct
that's
me
exactly
in the
it.
Was it 95?
Nice.
It was around there. Maybe the early '90s.
So that was Kevin Smith's first movie that
Very
he
first movie.
independently made on like a very small budget.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's
Oh,
what
yeah,
got him
and-
started as a director.
The funny thing was that's the same store that he worked in. That was
Yeah.
like Kevin Smith. Like he worked in that store, and I was like walking behind the scenes. He was talking about like, oh yeah, we had to go in there film at around midnight because that was when it was closed, and then and they would have to
Oh.
open it back up at around 6, so they would stop filming.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why they shot the majority of that film in black and white, just to hide the fact that
Yeah.
it's always pitch black outside.
Yeah,
When
and
they're
that
filming.
was
It's a black and white film.
It's
it's
black
a
and
black
white.
and white film. But
Yeah.
Is
the
it
humor,
really? I'm gonna Google this.
Do you remember the
humor
cutaway?
is amazing.
Did you see the cutaway of the guy like talking about like fucking bitches? Like that was a scene from the
No, I
movie.
didn't see the
That's
cutaway.
right. Yeah, with Jay and Silent Bob.
Jade and Silent Bob.
Yep.
Huh.
You
I'll have
enjoy
to
it. I
watch
think
this film.
Pagan, I think you'll enjoy it. That's
It's
actually
pretty good.
a pretty
It-
decent film.
It does do a really good job, like Andrew said, about like reflecting on like working as a retail employee at a shitty job and like
Yeah.
some of the struggles you go through. And like probably the most famous line from that movie is, "I'm not even supposed to be here
Supposed to
today."
be here today.
Like it was his day off and he got called into
Brilliant.
work. So any retail employee will know that.
Yep.
Hey, where's the Gatorade?
Yep.
Sorry, that was a line.
Mhm.
Cool. I think I definitely will watch that. Definitely watch that.
Definitely.
Jesus.
Definitely.
No more Red Bull for me. Like,
This one was a good one as far as just like a legitimate answer. And I want to piggyback
Mhm.
off that with the favorite book because he had like a
Yeah.
really good answer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
I actually had to Google the book he was talking about, and I was like, "Wow, this sounds really interesting." The Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist, and just his reaction,
that.
like he was really specific and like
yeah.
took his time talking about it and expressing why. And he's like, "Bet you didn't expect that." Like, we know.
Yeah. Just pretty
Did
cool.
not.
Actually, just really nice. This whole episode was kind of interjected with some real advice,
Mhm.
like on bullying, on abusive relationships,
Yeah.
on like your favorite book and stuff like that as well. There's two that like hit out for me that were really funny. Obviously, the Mr. Spudsies one is hilarious. But I loved the like, why does my father make me bake beans on the curb? And he's like, well, I guess he hates you. Like that was great. That was
Yeah.
part of the quick fire round, and I was like, yes.
It's
hates
to
you.
the point.
Brilliant.
I love it.
And then similarly, it was just a really short question at the beginning. It was like, what to do if a lesbian is trying to steal my girlfriend? It's like, well, I hope she's not lesbian too.
Such a great but perfect answer. Like it's real quick, to the point. Like there you go.
Yeah. That's good.
And those quick fire ones kind of like throw things off because there was a lot of really good like quick ones in there, especially like what can you never expect? The Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and the cutaway to that.
Yeah.
Monty Python.
More Monty
Yeah.
Python.
The rapid fire question stuff like that. That was an interesting new little segment.
Yeah, I wonder if they had done that on purpose or just happened to be like Nolan got through those questions really fast and they kind of made a
Mhm.
thing out of it.
Maybe, but they have like 2,000 questions to get through.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Uncle Nolly.
That's the thing.
I mean,
too,
that
I
could have
was
been
gonna
it.
say.
So
And that was
Yeah.
actually the thought I had after I saw that part was I know they have a lot of questions to get through.
Mhm.
I wonder if they thought this is how we can kind of
Do it.
speed that up a little bit.
yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
That classic Nolan wit that you just on the spot there, like I want to. Did they ever stump Nolan? Is there ever a time where Nolan just had kind of like,
Where you were just like, next question.
Yeah.
let me see those, Drew. Put them in there.
Yeah.
He's not gonna, because they
He's
don't
not.
exist.
They don't exist. No one will have an answer for everything, I reckon.
Yeah,
Uncle Nolly
probably
knows.
not.
Uncle
He really
Nolly
does.
knows. Yeah.
So
the
it's like
whole title of the segment.
on that point, he did also say in that Uncle Noli knows in that
Yes.
episode.
He did. Yeah,
He
he did.
did.
He said the thing. Yeah.
He's like, I said this thing. Yeah, like that was a good one. That like after
Yeah.
what 22 episodes, Uncle Noli, he actually said
Yeah.
Uncle
Yeah.
Noli knows and was able
Finally.
to make that reference.
Yeah. Do you ever do that though when somebody says like the title of the film that you're watching when you're watching it and you're just like, he said the title.
Yes.
I always
Just make
do
that
that.
face. Yeah.
Title. Like, yeah. I get stupidly excited about stupid things.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
Yeah, it's just little things that make you happy.
Exactly.
And to give it one last shout out, the final question of that episode talking about the one-eyed Mark who apparently went blind from touching himself.
Oh, God.
That was
I
a
know, it's
very
like you are tugging
I
too
think.
hard. Wow.
Yeah.
you're tugging on that thing like
Yeah.
a dish towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to slow down on that there, pal.
You were pulling too hard.
Yeah.
And then like he's like, it's just a myth. I can prove it. He just holds his hands up like the hairy palms thing. And it's like, oh, Nolan.
No.
Oh no.
Classic.
So we're gonna just kind of go right from jacking it over to Uncharted 3 playthrough.
What a segue.
That is a segue.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say, and Richard's murder mittens.
Murder mystery.
I'm sorry, Dan. I haven't facepalmed like that in a while, but
Wow.
but that was a good one though.
You're welcome.
Your hand almost went through your face. Yeah,
That's how we roll. That's how I roll.
That's how we roll.
I don't know, but Pagan does it sometimes too.
Yep.
Love it. I love it.
Anyways, this week we had Richard and Amy returning, and also for the first time, TJ Ramini as a guest
Woo.
for, is it the penultimate episode? I think they might,
Is it?
or is
I don't
next
know,
week going
is
to be
it?
penultimate? I think next week. I think it was said in the
I
live
don't
chat
know.
that Drew had said next week might be the penultimate episode. But we're
Oh,
probably,
cool.
we are getting very close to the end of the game.
You're
Yeah.
getting really close to the end of the game. Yes.
They're definitely on like the back end, and this is one of the still getting a little harder sections. I think there's one section after
Yeah.
this that's even harder.
It's not going to get any easier though,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's not.
At the end of this game.
The last part that's coming up after a few puzzles, I believe, is going to have the djinn, where you have to fight the
Yes.
djinn enemies that can teleport. Not
yes.
great.
Wow.
That's
God.
yeah.
It's
that was
tough.
High
that
death
one-
count guesses on that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Speaking of death count, I had said 17 and I was off by 2.
Oh, what was the death count?
I think it was 15 ultimately in the end.
Oh man, I said 12.
Wow.
Yeah, I went a little too high still. But I was
Mm.
actually surprised. Like Nolan didn't die as much on that section as I thought he would. Because
He's
that's a
getting a
tough
lot better.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really tough.
Yeah, so that part was, even Amy said that this is one of the tougher bits in
Mhm.
the game.
Yeah.
And this will be right to you, Pagan. There's a part in that where the second time he attempted that big gunfight with the tank trucks, he took out all of the major enemies except for the tanks. And I was like, oh my God, he's done it. Like all he has to do now is find RPGs and take out the tanks and he's done. But he died. I
Yeah.
had to start all over again. I'm like, he almost did it in one try. Like he almost had it on the first
Ugh.
try.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I was like,
You have
"Come
so
on,
much
Nolan."
faith and you're like, come on, Nolan. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those times where I really start talking to the TV.
I really start talking to the TV.
Like trying to
All the
like
time.
will Nolan through the television in the past,
Yeah.
through time and space.
Screaming at him like
Kinda
it's like in the
crazy eye.
NFL game.
Hello. That's good.
So to kick us off, I wanted to shout out TJ Ramini as being a fucking awesome guest. Like,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
please tell me you guys agree.
Oh, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I actually really like that TJ was like, you know how normally in like in playthroughs and that, they'll like, rape you or like, mock someone for like, not doing so well. But TJ was genuinely being very, very helpful. And I
Mhm.
thought that was really nice.
He was super supportive, super positive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Nolan would miss a whole bunch of stuff and he's like, great job. Excellent. And you're like, Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He reminded me of like a kid's like sports team coach, just being like,
Yes.
yeah, good job,
Good job.
good job.
That's what I
Hustle,
liked
good hustle.
about TJ.
Like every time he
Yeah.
killed somebody, every time he did something, he was like, "Oh, good job, mate, good
Yeah.
job." Like you're crushing it. And then he died, start over again. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But
Okay, you got
I
this.
love that.
Yeah.
He was extremely supportive, and he was really chill, just kind of like
Mhm.
literally
Yeah.
had like a leg up in the air.
He was really
Um,
enjoying it. He even said it in the show. He was like, "This is so watchable. Like, I love watching Nolan play this game because it's just a difficult, like that whole sandstorm segment.
Mhm.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What
Well, I
about you,
think that-
Andrew?
I like what was it? Well, I've noticed though with Nolan when he's playing it, he has actually improved a lot. Like when playing the game, like he's
Right?
getting it. Like the one time he was getting sniped from that one tower all the way. If you're looking at the map to the left, I'm
Yeah.
like, how are you still alive? I would have been dead in seconds like that. I just was kind of like blown away by how he was able to dodge a lot of that stuff.
Well, it's kind of like
Yeah,
what I was
shit,
saying
like-
in the beginning, where he killed everything.
Yeah, everything exactly.
And I'm like,
Died.
well, now he's
the
got.
last second.
Well, it's like he killed the sniper, he killed the grenade launcher.
yeah,
And then I'm like, okay, now he's got the 2 or 3 shotgunners that are going to come at him. I'm like, that they
Mhm.
always get him. So I was worried that that's what was going to get him, but he
Yeah.
still beat them too. And then I think he ran out, tried to punch somebody, and the trucks ended up gunning him
Just
down. And I was
ended
like,
up getting him.
Yeah.
Nolan.
Yeah.
The grenade launcher is what really gets me. They always I'm just in some bad spot and I would get just killed easily.
Yeah, the grenade launcher guys. are
So
always bad
I
with
feel
that.
his pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
everybody
difficult
related
segment.
to that.
Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
difficult segment, especially like when you start off and like with the sandstorm segment and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
stealth kill the first person, but then everybody finds you anyway. So you're like, oh, fuck.
It just goes down the
Um,
drain. You're
Yeah,
like,
it
"Oh,
just goes down
God."
the drain real quick. But shout out to Nolan on your point, Andrew, about him getting better
Mhm.
because he got a trophy,
Yeah.
100
Mhm.
headshots.
He
And
did.
I was like,
I saw
go
that.
on, Nolan, fuck yeah. Probably by mistake, but awesome still.
The funny thing about the fact
Still
that he's
good.
getting all these trophies is because he dies so much and he keeps replaying the section.
Yeah.
So he's getting those headshots and he's getting those
Practice,
kills.
if you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's good practice.
It sure is. It sure is.
Uh,
I want to shout out TJ's segment at the beginning where they were talking about Richard's face,
mm.
and it was a difficult face to get adjusted to. That whole bit was so funny. Like with the casting director be like, what did you think? I don't know, man. It was just really difficult to get past his face. Like, I think I'm gonna need 5 minutes to lie down before I see the next person. Like it was just really, it was a challenging face. Or when he sees a face, if he just thinks uphill. Like I thought that was
Oh,
so good. Oh man, that was great. The whole thing was just beautiful. And what I feel like it is like, I actually feel like it's a lot of British humor. I feel like that way. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
time, like Donna, you'll totally back me up on this. Like a lot of like the UK and Irish humor is to rip the piss out of somebody, like to take
Yes.
the mick into like, I don't know how to say it in American language. To like make
Language.
fun of somebody. Yeah, make fun
Busted
of somebody.
chops?
I've actually,
Busted
bust
chops.
chops.
There you go. There you
I've
go.
actually adopted take the piss. Like I say that a lot now.
Take the piss. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
take the
Take the
piss or
piss.
take the mick or rip the piss out of somebody. Like
Yeah.
it's very funny to see that kind of stuff. And obviously it was all in good faith.
Fun.
It was all in good nature.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't against Richard. It was just going off what Richard said about a bearded face rather than his beautiful shaved face we see today. I love that. I thought that was just really
Now that
beautiful.
I'm thinking about it, I think the most common phrase that I would use or have used in my time as an American would have been bust balls.
That's what I was gonna say
To
next.
the
say to
balls.
bust
Oh,
somebody's
okay.
balls. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably
Okay.
the most common phrase I would have used for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
the
say-
American
I would say
version.
Rip the piss or take
Chapping
the,
my
take
ass.
the piss. Chapping my ass. What do you
Yeah.
say, Donna? Do you say like take the mick?
Take the piss.
Mm.
Take the piss.
But in
Yeah.
recent times, I've gotten into the habit of saying take the piss. Maybe it's just because I have a lot of UK friends now. A lot of
Yeah, UK.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I
Same here.
talk to a lot of new people. Like my horizons have opened up a little bit from my little burg
Yeah.
in central New York that I came from.
The other like English phrase, I don't know, Donna, if you use this, is mugging you off. Don't mug them off.
No,
no.
I don't
It's
use
probably
that one.
it's probably Southern actually. Like that used to be a big thing when I was living in like just outside of central London. It's just like,
Yeah.
are you mugging me off? Like, are you taking the piss?
Mhm.
I was like, no.
We've got one up.
Colloquialisms.
Yeah, we've got one up here, but it's you're having a laugh.
Mm.
You having a laugh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Like I've probably heard
That's a
something similar
familiar
on
one.
like British TV
Yeah.
like that. I think probably one of the, to me, one of my favorite pieces in the game. It's one of the bigger set pieces, probably not as big as like the ship or the plane, the cargo plane, but it's more of a lasting scene because of the truck convoy.
Yeah.
So it's more involved on the player's end. So that's why that part of the game sticks with me a little bit more. Because Pagan, I believe you mentioned the plane and the ship scene mostly.
Yeah, the plane and the ship scene really stick with me. I think just because of the vast visual of it. I love that. Whereas this, I mean, I remember playing this. I just don't. It didn't stick with me. The plane crashing and being in the desert and looking through the mirages and everything and going around in circles, that sticks with me. Or coming across the empty town, that sticks with me.
Yeah.
I think it's just the larger visuals really just stay in my mind that way rather than gameplay stuff. My brain stopped working like 30 minutes ago. What?
That to me, but that to me is interesting though, like how you gravitate to certain pieces that I gravitate to a different thing, and it's all about like our experience. And I'm curious about Andrew and Donna here, if there's anything like that within Uncharted 3 that stands out to you.
Yeah.
Donna, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Oh no, you can go first.
I'd have to agree with go with Pagan with the setting wise, like the going through those mirages and it's just like I feel like that was kind of like the basis of the game. Like like how are you going to get out of this? Like you're stuck in the desert. How are you going to like survive this? Especially when he's at night, when he's looking at the stars and there's just too many of them.
Moment.
You can't navigate that, not without an instrument of some sort, or the what is all they call it, or a sextant.
Oh yeah. The navigational tool.
The navigational tool.
Yeah.
But that's why that's kind of like what I took away with the Uncharted 3.
So you would say like that was a scene that kind of really stuck out to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, cool. Especially with the village.
Well, I think what when you just mentioned about TJ's commentary about like how there was references to like Laura, like it was inspired by Lawrence of Arabia and stuff. I actually really liked that. It was a very nice touch. I also, mind you, this is going from like the playthrough, like from watching the playthrough.
Okay.
And I actually took on board a lot of the things that Amy had to say.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like have you completed the Uncharted series on PlayStation, Donna? Have you played the games?
No.
Okay.
I've got them, but I think I've only gotten through the first two.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
Interesting then. Like how are you finding the third game on like watching it being played for the first time with Nolan and crew? Like how do you find that?
I've quite enjoyed it. It's been for me. It's been really enjoyable, but it's also nice to see some like the people who were involved in it too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have context.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always
for sure.
love when they have Amy on or other devs that you get that insight to the development of the game. Like I find that stuff very fascinating, and we always appreciate when Amy's on, or when they were doing the Uncharted 2 playthrough, they were bringing in different devs and people who had worked on that game. So like Amy always gives great insight, and I love with her being a recurring guest, her insight kind of, she finds a good middle ground while still like kind of pissing on Nolan, taking the piss on Nolan. And I love that dynamic with her and the way she talks about things. But man, like we've mentioned this on the podcast before, her memory and her recollection of the time when they developed this game, 9-10 years ago, and in such a quick time, like she said, what was it, 21 months it took them to develop Uncharted 3? Like less than 2 years to make that game.
Wow.
Which is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
Especially with the detail and the level of research they must have had to do to create
Yeah.
every element in that game
Mm-hmm.
and to be, semi-historically accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When TJ talked about being a positive Middle Eastern actor, and she mentioned that they've had other, people thank them and appreciate the level of detail and respect that they had given in that context, which to me, like, that stuff is awesome. I was really, insightful to see, like, oh, I didn't really know who TJ was. Like, I was very well aware of his character of Salim, but meeting like the man behind the character made it that much more meaningful.
Yeah. I think that's what I've definitely enjoyed with this playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Like meeting the people behind the game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, it does. Total
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's really interesting that you've not played the game and to see it from just to see it like brand new played with the devs and everything. That must be so cool.
Yeah.
It must be such a good
And
experience.
it's not a slight in any way. Like, you're
No,
not the
no,
first
not at
one
all.
to be experiencing
say
these
that you
games
haven't
for the
played the
first
game.
time
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
And we always find that interesting. We've done this in the past with guests where they didn't play Uncharted 1 or they didn't play Uncharted 2, and this is the first time they're experiencing it. And we're always like, how are you liking it, like experiencing the game in this way? Because it's just really interesting. Like, I couldn't even imagine that, like, experience a game in this way, because I generally don't do that, mostly because I'm just a nut and I play everything in existence. But
I think like what they nailed down though was the atmosphere.
Mm.
Yeah.
In the game, like for example, like the what do you call organization that they were going up against, or whoever I think they did a pretty good job in like trying to show that it's like we don't know anything about these people. They're very mysterious.
Yeah.
I think they just did an awesome job with that too.
Yeah. They
especially
set the ground
in 21
running.
months. They did.
Yeah, they set the ground running, especially like in the beginning of the game, and you're in the bar and you're fighting and you're fighting Cutter, and then there's the fake death, and all of that was like, oh my god, I'm so intrigued. Like, what's going on in this like shady underground deal for the ring? Like, why? What's going on? And figuring out like that it's all part of something else. It's just great. I thought, yeah.
Alrighty, so before we close out the show today, instead of a retro reply, we are going to have a new listener message. It's becoming a thing, guys. It's becoming a trend.
Woohoo! Finally.
Yay. Finally.
Fucking finally.
This was
People
all
are sending
we wanted.
voicemails.
It's about time.
Oh, nice.
So today we have a listener voicemail from a friend of the show, Miss Amelia Brown. She's been on the show before. She wanted to just give us a little love. So here she is, guys.
Okay.
Hey guys, I just want to drop you a message to say that I've been really enjoying the podcast lately, and you guys have been awesome. I always pop it on every Wednesday morning on the way to work and uni, and it makes the journey so much nicer having you guys in my ears. It's been so lovely to listen and just like meet everyone, all the replayers between having the podcast and the weekly Zooms. And I look forward to hearing more from you guys. And if you're listening to this and you aren't already subscribed to the Replay Podcast on YouTube, you better be. You guys are the best. Keep doing what you're doing, and I love you. Bye.
Thanks for the little plug there, Amelia.
Oh.
Amelia, that's so sweet.
Nice.
Very
Thank you
sweet.
so much.
Lovely.
That warmed my little heart when I got that email. Like when the email popped into the Replayer Podcast email, and I was like, oh, look, a voicemail. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh,
Like, it's just so nice. It's
Automatically
really, really
that
so
day was made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like this means a lot to me and Dan. Like we decided to do this on a whim. We hadn't met each other. We didn't know each other for very long. We were just like, fuck it, let's do this, and like let's meet some replayers and get part of the community. And people have come to us and they're like, I really love listening to the podcast. I love learning more about people. And then Drew coming out and be like, I love listening to the podcast. It's great to like hear from the replayers and who they are, what they like to do, and like it means a lot to us. And like that kind of voicemail where she's listening every Wednesday on the way to work, and it's so nice. It's really heartwarming and touching. And that's why we do what we do. We just like, we didn't think anybody would listen, and yet here we are. Like
Donna, you'll hear us talking about this in the first episodes you're listening to now.
Yeah, you'll definitely think like no one's listening to this. Like so it's really great to have been to come this far and to be in a place where we've grown so much, and to have somebody send an email like that just really touching.
Sure.
Really
And that
attention to those
Yeah.
echoes kind of like even Andrew here was saying, like he listens to us in his cubicle at work,
Yeah.
and it's like that's
Mhm.
awesome. Like I
Surprised
very
my boss is just like checking over me like, "You're okay?" Because I would like chuckle in my cubicle. And I'm
It's
trying
just
to like,
the shoulders,
I-
Andrew. That's why it's the
Yes. Oh
shoulders
my
that they
God.
think you're crying. It's just
I'm like, I'm like trying to hide the phone away from them. Like, oh no, we're good.
Mhm.
Wait,
Awesome.
thank you so much, Amelia.
Yes, thank you so much, Amelia.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're gonna give you guys a little bit of a chance to share something about yourselves or share anything you're working on. Normally, this is like promote Twitch, Twitter, what have you.
Yeah.
Donna, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure.
You're like, oh no, surprised again.
I wasn't ready for this.
I'm never ready. That's
Get your cliff notes.
I'm never.
It's written on your hand, right?
yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, I don't really stream gaming or anything.
problem.
I did for a while on the PS4, but because I don't live with, because it's my sister's and I don't live with her anymore, so I've been trying to find other things to do. So I've been really trying to get back into drawing and everything. I do care work, and that's my day
Oh.
job. So
Oh my gosh, I didn't
So-
know that. That's so cool.
no, most people don't.
Dude, that's
'cause it's,
awesome. That's really, really cool. I love that.
And there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do based on that. But if I'm not like at if I'm not at work, I actually help my partner trade at anime and comic conventions.
Hmm.
So
Cool.
Okay.
that's where the drawing comes from.
Nice.
But I don't really have like a special like Instagram or Twitter or anything. But you can follow me on my main Twitter,
Mhm.
and I'm also going back into doing commentary on anime because I'm an old weeb.
Old
Weebs
weeb.
are the best.
So, in your Twitter account that you're talking about, you tweet about anime.
Yes,
Okay.
Nice.
And
Okay,
what's that
cool.
Twitter
But-
handle?
it is called Donna versus the anime. I'll put it in the
Nice.
We'll put it in the show
And-
notes and
We
in the
gotcha.
comments below. So don't you worry, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's up there. So I usually use them two accounts.
Okay.
Cool.
And what was your main one again?
Donna, aka.
Okay. Nice. And are you thinking about like drawing and maybe like you could sell them at the trade conventions or you can post them on Instagram?
I actually do.
Okay.
Oh,
do.
that's
Nice.
fantastic.
Ooh, okay.
The most recent things that I put up there were things that I'd done a year ago. Obviously, because of the pandemic, all of the things that we would normally go to have been cancelled.
Mhm.
So I've put two of my favorite things that I drew last year on as recent things. So you'll be able to see
Nice.
them there.
I really like one of them. And Dan, I would really like you to insert this here.
Okay.
It's Butt Senpai. It is so funny. I can't even tell you. So just
So I'm gonna take whatever this butt
Insert
senpai
that.
is and I'm gonna put it on your face.
please, yes. It is brilliant. I've only just clicked on this now. Like I've seen your link earlier and I was like, oh, cool. But I only see the top half. If you don't click into the photo, you only see the top half of it. That is hilarious.
Will do.
I really like that. I love that. Okay, excellent.
Nice.
You can-
Thank you.
Cool.
You're welcome.
So you should start an Instagram page and start sharing your art on there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
That's the way
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
We know a lot of other replayers that do the same.
Mhm.
Especially if you're drawing it to sell in any form or fashion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it. Cool.
I actually do have an Instagram if you don't mind us
Go ahead.
sharing it.
Absolutely.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
I have far too many creative fingers and too many creative pies. It's just
Don't we
that's
all?
the only way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit more about where we can find you or what you got going on?
Well, you can find me on my Twitch channel at HockeyTown787. Same with my Twitter, YouTube. It's all the
Mhm.
same. Right now, I'm just trying to like stream as much as I can and having fun with it.
Yeah,
Really.
still working
I
on
mean,
getting affiliate, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm
Mm.
still trying to get the follower count up. That's kind of the main goal Well,
Mhm.
that's the short-term main goal, but there's like an ultimate goal that I've been trying to work on for
Mhm.
like a while now. It involves my fiance Rachel, and we're thinking we want to do like a charity stream.
Okay.
So we're trying to it's for like the Heart Association. It's for the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation too that we're looking to do.
Great.
Trying to see where.
Is this like an already established foundation?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a nonprofit it's a nonprofit foundation or organization. So what we're trying to do, but because over the years, I think a couple of years ago we raised, I think it was like maybe like 500, I think
Oh, that's not bad.
$400. Yeah, for the Heart Association, and then we would do a little, what was a 3K 2K walk. To kind of give a context of why we do that is because 4 years ago Rachel had a sudden cardiac arrest.
Oh wow.
So her
Oh
heart
my God.
stopped
Oof.
completely.
Wow.
So
4
she-
years ago.
God.
I'm assuming she's
that was-
okay.
She's okay,
Okay,
now.
good.
We're-
Yeah.
yeah, we're engaged and we're trying to get married. But
Oh,
she
congratulations.
I feel your pain there,
Trying.
buddy.
Pagan, yeah. But she collapsed essentially,
Oh
Mm.
my God.
and what saved her was her stepdad performing CPR on her. So, and she was out, I think she was like with no pulse, was like 10 minutes.
Wow.
No.
So
Oh
it
my
was
God.
around
Wow.
there, yeah. So she yeah. So
It's okay.
So it's a
can I
very
ask,
close to home, personal.
close to home,
Close
personal
to
thing,
home.
and we've she spent about a week and a half in the hospital.
Mhm.
I think like the first few days or so was her being in a coma.
Wow.
Wow.
So
That's intense. Fuck.
yeah.
Is this
So-
this sudden cardiac arrest
Mhm.
charity and everything like that? Is this something that is like you can't predict this is going to happen, or is this something that's genetic?
It's-
Or I'm sorry if to pry if that's not
Oh
okay.
no,
like
you're
you
cool.
can-
It's fine. It's fine. It's not really a genetic thing. It does happen in older elderly people, but with this
Okay.
case of hers was kind of rare. But we went to doctors, and they were saying that it was just stress related.
Mm.
No.
So, and that's why it's kind
No
of like we're
way.
trying to get that message out too, saying, hey, take care of yourselves.
Wow.
We're trying to raise awareness for it, especially for Rachel, because I want to do that for her, and to do that.
So
We're
you're looking to
definitely-
do this through game streams?
Twitch.
Twitch?
Yeah, game
Okay.
stream, Twitch
Okay.
mostly, yeah, mainly.
All right.
We're just trying to figure out how we can do that.
Yeah.
We're just
Wow.
trying to figure out like where
Yeah.
do we start.
I
There's no
mean,
manual for this.
To
Yeah,
go off of
fuck.
that's not too dissimilar to myself. Last year, my father had been diagnosed with cancer,
Yeah.
and I had done a like a charity stream as well. Like I did a couple of charity streams and raised a few $100s to help him pay for his hospital bills. Thankfully, now he's actually been completely cleared. He's cancer free now. Like it went
That's good.
surprisingly well.
Glad
He
to
had
hear it.
Yeah.
the
That's
surgery
really
went
good.
good. So it's incredible that he was able to get through that as quickly as he did. And
Yeah.
he's bouncing back
Mhm.
now. So I completely understand where you're coming from. And like,
Yeah, it was
especially when it's something like that, that's like, it hits home. Like it's a personal thing.
absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah.
And with Rachel, we were just like bouncing back and forth on it, and we're like, what do we should we do? She's like, let's just do a charity stream, like you said you
Yeah.
wanted to do this. Let's pick. And she told me she picked this organization, and I said, okay, well then let's focus on that, and then we'll see if we'll do it in October. And since
Okay.
that's like that's SCA, that's their month.
That's their month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
relates directly to
That relates directly to that. Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do that in October. So
Okay. Heck, I mean, keep us in touch with it, and we'll try to keep
Mhm.
updating
Yes.
with the podcast and let people know
I
about it.
appreciate it.
If you
Please
guys even
do.
want to like create a little advertisement or something that maybe we
Okay.
can kind of link in.
Well,
We could keep it up here like every episode if
Yeah.
you want and
Yeah.
build up to it.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I'm trying not to tear
No,
up
it's
now,
okay.
so.
I think
me the
like I mean,
tears.
if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I mean, I know Dan obviously did a charity stream last year for his dad.
Mhm.
Ian Plays Games is another streamer in the community that he does regular charity streams, like 24-hour charity streams.
Yeah.
Like it might be
Oh,
worth
okay.
reaching out and listen. Like if you need advice, if you want something, like I know Ian is a super, very loving, very warm man, and like if you want to
Okay.
reach out to him, if that helps, and
Yeah.
literally like the rest of us here in the replayer community, we're here to support you, man. And
I
a lot of us
definitely appreciate
stream
that.
and Twitch, and we'd be happy to help in any way we can.
Words fail me right now.
It's okay.
You know,
Andrew's in
losing
his
him.
head like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry.
That's exactly it.
Like the rock
know,
and Jumanji.
Crying is
Don't cry,
okay,
don't cry,
man. Cry is okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay to
it's-
not be okay. All right.
the support has been overwhelming too, especially when I met you, Dan and Aaron and Cass and Amelia. Like
Mm.
I can give you a whole list of just how grateful I am just to meet you all, and
No.
it's an incredible experience, and all of you guys and gals have just been phenomenal. You
A
know,
little shout out there is I believe I met Andrew initially through my own Twitch stream. That's the first time me and you ever
Nice.
talked. You came into my Twitch stream. Like, okay,
I think I
okay.
rated you.
Yeah. something
Oh,
like that. Like,
cool.
Yeah.
you got talking
So-
to me, and I was like, all right, do I know you? And you're like, oh, I'm a replayer. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Great.
we kind of got that going.
Invited you to the weekly Zooms that we do, and you kind of got to meet
Yeah.
that crew.
Oh yeah, and actually, I think you met Rachel too. She's in the Twitch chats every time I'm on stream. I think she was
Oh,
on there
okay.
Friday, so she was there.
I gotcha.
Lovely.
So
Nice.
but yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, look, man.
We're
it's
just
a
trying to figure out the
tough
promotion.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
thank you
we're
so much for
just-
sharing it. Like, listen, it's not
Appreciate it.
easy to come on the show and
Mhm.
share that kind of stuff, and I'm sure it was not easy in any way. I can't imagine what you guys went
Yeah.
through. So
Yeah.
like we're always happy to help, and the repair community have been so good with, everyone's projects, and everyone tries to get involved with as much charitable causes as possible here, which is
Yeah.
always good to
Yeah.
give back.
Mhm.
Wherever a replayer can.
I
Do you know what I
mean-
mean? If it's just liking and sharing, if it's just spreading the
Mhm.
word, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, every penny counts, and like
Yeah.
I appreciate
super
it.
happy
And we'll
that
do
you're
what we
here to
can to try and get you as
support
much
that.
support as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are
If
a
memories,
blessing. Thank you.
you're welcome, man. Absolutely.
You're welcome. But you know what?
So-
On the plus side, I'm so glad that she's recovered, and I'm so glad that she's
Oh, yeah.
okay. And you guys are planning a wedding, getting married,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's a very exciting time for you.
Yeah.
But
So the-
yeah, that's it's incredible that you've come this far, and this is what you're doing now to give back, and that's fucking awesome. So yeah.
Thank you.
So the best
Welcome.
way our listeners can support you now is to find you on Twitch
Twitch,
at
Twitch and
Hockeytown.
Twitter, HockeyTown787.
Cool. So we can
Excellent.
get ready for that charity stream coming October.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll be definitely posting a lot on Twitter. You'll see it mostly on that because I'm gonna
Okay.
be
Great.
I'm gonna be actually going through the Twitter's what do you call it that gets your Twitter or your tweet out? I'm trying to remember. Pay money for it or something.
Oh,
Mm.
like a
that.
boosted
promotion.
tweet. Like,
boosted tweet or a promotional tweet.
Okay,
So
Gotcha.
yeah.
into that.
Great. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right then. Ah. Wipe those tears, Andrew. We're gonna move on.
It's raining. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just raining indoors.
Indoors.
suddenly.
Wait. Oh, hold on.
My sprinklers are on.
Yeah. I just have something in both of my eyes.
It's dust.
It's very dusty.
I'm not crying. I'm just chopping onions.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not crying. You're crying.
You don't know this, but I've been just chopping away down here this whole
Just
time.
chopping
I'm
onions
making
here.
some tacos. I
This
need
is 2
onions.
weeks in a row now. We're making crying jokes. Anyways,
I know.
we're gonna wrap it up,
Ugh.
guys, and we're gonna do that with. We didn't have a retro reply this week, but we are looking for more of your questions. We asked you guys to give us some questions that you have for the crew. If you have a question for retro replay that you'd like to get answered here on the podcast for our retro replay segment, you can email them to us at thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com, or you can reach out to myself or Pagan on Twitter through Twitter. Just add us,
Yeah.
like that. That's how Twitter works, right? Did I do
Right?
that
something like that.
Something-
Do you tweet? I don't know. You write a
Something-
message?
I don't
Yeah,
use Twitter. I'm
something.
an old man.
No. I mean, that's true.
You guys have shared your socials, so we're gonna close it out. Pagan, where can the folks find you at?
I'm at Pagan Plays on Twitter and at Pagan_Plays on Instagram and Twitch.
Sweet. And I am Stark Evil Vash on most platforms. I was gonna say Instagram, but I don't have an Instagram in my name.
Oh,
I do have an Instagram. I don't use it though, so don't worry about that.
so don't follow me there,
Don't worry
okay?
about
Whatever
that.
you do, stop worrying about
Avoid
it.
it.
Yeah, don't find me. Like,
The last thing I probably have a picture of my consoles, like that stuff. Anyways, that's gonna get me like a bunch of followers. Not like, why? You can find me on Twitter at StarkEvash. That's STRKY Vash.
bye, Ash.
Bye, Ash.
Excellent. Well done on your English, sir. Getting better.
I mean VAS Hatch.
Listen, H. H.
H.
Let's not start this again.
Don't start that
I had
again.
this conversation with Drew the other day. Just don't do it, man.
You got into it with the H's
H.
on Drew.
Yes. Don't get me
Anyways,
started on aluminium.
aluminium. I like the way you guys say aluminium.
Okay.
Aluminium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I prefer that over aluminum.
Let's not go there.
I like your guys' way
fast
better.
track downhill, Dad.
I'm saying I like yours better.
I know. So start using it. Better. Okay, great. Thanks.
But thank
And
you
then convince
guys.
the rest of America.
Thank you all. Thank you for everyone at Retro Replay for doing what you do, because without you, we wouldn't be having this wonderful podcast, meeting these wonderful replayer guests.
Yeah.
Thank you
Mhm.
both for coming on the show and sharing with us today, letting us get to know you, letting all of you get to know everybody. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thanks for
and
having
Donna.
us.
Thank you for having us.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Thank
It's
you.
our pleasure.
Appreciate
Been a
it.
pleasure. Been a pleasure.
And that's it. That's our show. Game over, folks.
Woo!
Nice.
Bye.
Gotta get the music from Pagan. She has to have her music.
Yeah. It's such a good outro theme.